If Bola Tinubu approaches you to work with him, would you? It will never happen. Okay, which one? Which of the scenarios? Him approaching you or you accepting to work with him? Oh my gosh, I don't want to betray privilege. Somebody from Bola Tinubu's camp has already reached out to me, and I told the person that, look, it cannot happen. I can't do it. It's just against my principles. I'm not. Some people can do that. It's not in my DNA. I can't do it. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I wish Bola Tinubu well if he eventually is sworn in and then the courts uphold his victory. But I can never work with him. Yes, that was a Reno, a mockery. This celebrated Nigerian principled liar and mischief maker. Good morning. Good afternoon, viewers from Nigeria, across Africa, and around the world. This is Madu Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now and Global Matters Arising. It is Sunday afternoon, 2:56 p.m. Central Standard Time here in Houston, Texas, United States of America. Is sunny and warm, against what it used to be. Where, the global warming is real. This alteration and climate is real. Is real. This is November 22nd. Yes, in the past, by now, everybody will be wearing jackets and houses are being warmed by heater. But right now, it's just beautiful like summertime. Hello, how are you? Great to meet you here. And our listeners from around the world, join us. If you're joining us for the very first time, we welcome you warmly from our heart. And ask that you quickly, it doesn't take but a few seconds, to click on the subscription button and also the notification button. So, whenever we come online, and we will, you'll be one of the very first to be notified about what's up with Nigeria, what's up with Africa, what's up with the United States, and what's up with the world. Thank you for your unalloyed support. We appreciate you sincerely. Matthew Dero, thank you very much. And please, we are growing phenomenally and mostly organically, And special thanks to you who made it happen. Yeah, without you, we won't be here. You make us proud. You make us happy. You inspire us to continue this work. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. I am doing very well. Matthew, how are you doing? Nova White Cateria Nat. I hope you're doing well. So spread the message as you join. Please bring somebody on as you join. And you know what? I am I want to grow bigger today. I want our channel to grow bigger. Well, 1,000 likes, 1,000 subscription could be used by us because we are at a very critical juncture. We are trying to build a global movement for peace, security, and stability through justice. And that is what we represent here at ONN. And we welcome you. And as always, we are non-racial. We don't hate people on the basis of their races, religion, or anything. We are one people, and we expect that when we come here, we engage one another with respect, and we don't tolerate derogatory remarks on anybody or any people. Yes, and I am from Nigeria in Africa, the continent that has gone through five major events and still standing. Yeah, even if our people are now mentally they need attention to bring them back to focus mentally. Having the greatest amount of the earth resources, over 45% of the earth resources residing in Africa. But Africa's 1.5 billion people the poorest people on earth. So, it's unconscionable, and it's something that is so hard to comprehend and justify. But that is one of the reasons we are here, that the world now start thinking about engaging Africa and Africans as a people that deserves to be dignified and respected. And that's what it is. It's all about respect. We give people respect. We allow people come into our continent, and they take and take and take. But a great number don't give anything back. Africa is not the Africa that is looking for aid anymore. Yes, we are done with the aid era. You can't come to Africa, you take from us, and then just throw some sprinkles at us as if we are a conquered people, and then you come and tell us that you are giving us aid. No, that's not the Africa we want. We want Africa that will stand toe to toe, shoulder to shoulder with all the people around the world, especially at the leadership level. At the personal level, we are doing very well. We are able to hang with people from different cultures, different countries. We don't have any problem. At the leadership level and the economic level, that is where the problem is. So we have to break that shackle. But what I'm talking about today is Nnamdi Kanu, the young man who raised his finger, the young man who raised his finger to ask Nigeria a question, to ask Nigeria a question. Why are you not working? Why are you dysfunctional? Why are some citizens of Nigeria, more respected than others? That was the only question he asked. And before him, somebody else asked that question. Before him, between 1966 and 1970, somebody asked that question, became the champions of the struggles of the Igbos in Nigeria. And that was late General Odomegu Ojukwu. And the question was about Biafra. Yeah, Biafra was a child of circumstance. Biafra was a necessity. The Igbos never woke up one day and wanted to leave Nigeria. Some Nigerians were desperate and wanted to push the Igbos away from Nigeria. They resisted being pushed away from Nigeria. And then what followed was a massacre in 1966 that destroyed over 1 million of them in the northern part of Nigeria. And that genocide, that experience forced them to return to their homelands in the southeast of Nigeria, where they started pondering and questioning, why are we Nigerians, if we cannot live in the west of Nigeria, if we cannot live in the north of Nigeria, if we cannot live in the south of Nigeria without being humiliated, without being questioned, without being hounded, without being treated as if we are second-class citizens? Yes. So the whole thing crystallized into something, and a demand was put on the governor of eastern Nigeria at the time, and that was Lieutenant Colonel Odomegu Ojukwu. The people put pressure on him that they wanted a country of their own, since Nigeria did not want them again. When I mean Nigeria, not territorial Nigeria, not geographical Nigeria. Those who claim that they are more Nigerians, that they own Nigerians, did not want them anymore. They raised the ethnic battles against them. In the armed forces, they were exterminating them over a coup plot that actually was the first thing to save Nigeria from an imminent collapse 6 years after independence, when this grandson of Osman Dan Fodio, who in 1804 overran the Hausa land, seized all their lands, destroyed their kings, installed his children and his followers as kings from Sokoto to Kano, Rano to Kebi, yes, down to Ilorin, a Yoruba land, that is the Kwara state today. They seized all that in their Islamic jihad, driven purely by economics, politics, and finance. Yes, that was the genesis. That was the genesis. So, much pressure on Ojukwu led to the declaration of Biafra in a little town they call Ahiara, and that declaration of independence was known as the Ahiara Declaration. Yes, I am speaking what I'm speaking to young Nigerians, older Nigerians, and those who care to know about the Nigerian history. Yeah, free of prejudice. This is exactly what happened. Historians driven by ethnic nationalism will not write it the way it ought to be. What actually catalyzed what they called a civil war that we know was a genocide and remains a genocide, and nothing is going to change that. Yes, and that's exactly what happened. The genesis. The same question that Ojukwu asked: why can't we make this federation work? Instead of making it work, they turned it into bloodletting. They turned it into a genocide. The Igbos were massacred in the north. They were massacred in the southwest. They were massacred in places they call, in some of the places they call South today. And if you hear about the abandoned property in River State of Nigeria, all those property were owned by Igbos. The Igbos developed River State. They built Port Harcourt. Yes. And if you look historically, those were within the eastern Nigeria region at the time. And then this madness came. And then the people retreated to their various villages. And then some people moved in and acquired their property and then called them abandoned property. How would you abandon a property in your home country? Nigeria has been made to be an unfair country. Nigeria is a very beautiful country, but the drivers since independence have never been good people. And they don't want to be good people. And that is why their country is flipping and dying. You can build a country on injustice and expect that country to stand. Yes, you can build a country on injustice and expect that country to stand. Nigeria is not standing, and Nigeria will never stand until the injustice against some people and against the rest of Nigeria is addressed. Mark my words, Nigeria will become a Somalia in no distant time. I'm talking about months. Yes, the way things are heading because Nigerians are afraid of standing up for justice. And that is exactly where we are right now. So that question that Ojukwu asked in 1966, 1967, 1968, 1969, and then 1970 has remained a question that Nigeria has failed to address. And that their failure to address that question has left the country a dysfunctional state. Are you aware that at the University of Nigeria and Soka, the Department of Chemical Engineering has remained closed since after they declared that their war, that was a genocide, was over? But universities across the country are building departments of chemical engineering. They are still afraid of the Igbos. Why are you afraid of them if you are right? Why are you scared of them if you are right? Why don't you trust them if you are right? Do you know what you have lost with your hate for the Igbos? Nigeria has lost so much. All those great scientists who turned the palm oil into aviation oil. You know what they could have become for Nigeria? Why should Nigeria be importing ammunition and armored tanks and Tocano from America and the rest of the world? When there are scientists from Nigeria, but because they are Igbos, you suppress them, you destroy them, and they are all now dead. And then that is a loss to Africa. Africa is not supposed to be begging. Africa is supposed to be riding high. But because of this self-hate, wickedness. Yes, that is what led us where we are. And we are not willing, and we are most unprepared to learn from our history. Any people who don't learn from history, we continue to repeat it. And that is where we are right now. Nigeria is at a lockdown. Who will save this country? Who will save the country? Who will save this country from injustice? We are in a country where the president of a country, yes, Muhammadu Buhari, repeated the same thing that Ahmadu Bello said and in 1960, right at independence. He called, I quote, he called the southeast of Nigeria a dot in a circle with no escape, with no exit. And he went further to incite subtly violence against the Igbos, that they own businesses around the country, which means, okay, you can jump on them and do what you did in the past. Yes, and Nigerians celebrated, some Nigerians, a great section of Nigerians celebrated that. They didn't see the implication. You couldn't make that statement here in the United States, a sitting president making that. You will go the next minute. Once you finish that sentence, that will be the end of your presidency. You couldn't say it even in oppressive Britain and then still remain the prime minister of Britain. You won't say it in India and still remain the president of India, but only in Nigeria. Buhari said that, and he was celebrated, and everybody was okay by it. Look at where we are right now. Our country has been taken over by terrorists, and nobody is doing anything. But a man who asked questions, a young man who asked questions, a young man who decided to be different, a young man who decided to not bow to money. Yes, a young man who refused to be appeased by anything. He stood out. He brought himself, just like Ojukwu did, fighting a whole might of Imperial Europe with his father's money. And then the sacrifices of his brethren, brothers and sisters. Yes, yes. This young man came out. He asked the same question nearly 60 something, 50 something years after. He reminded Nigeria, the same reason you massacred our people, we still have them. We went to Aburi to seek solution. General Ankara did a great job and then brought the two parties together. Ojukwu was the last person who wanted a war. The reason, and it can be attested to, who convinced Nzogo from continuing with his school. It was Ojukwu and Aguiyi, and they were both Igbos. And that deflates the stupid argument that the idiots of Nigeria, sadly, that controls the media, put across that the coup, that that very first coup, plotted by eminently patriotic Nigerians who saw what was about to happen to their country, was an Igbo coup. Yes, yes. Ojukwu never wanted a war. He was so happy. You know, in his narrative, what he said, recorded, he said, when they were being driven to the airport, he told General Ankara, bring the hands of Gowon and his hand and put them together, that this peace will be forever. But Gowon got to Lagos and he started listening to Britain. They told him what you did was wrong. Britain was ready to sell their war ammunition. They were ready to continue to control Nigeria. Yes, Gowon was blind and stupid, like he has always been. At 90, God Almighty spared his life so he can speak the truth. This man is still resisting speaking the truth. Gowon cannot speak the truth. Yes. So what effort, what sacrifice did you want from a people? Ojukwu made that sacrifice. Let's end this thing. Jack, Jack, let's end this thing. That's what they was calling him, Jack. You know, Gowon's name is Jacob. He changed his name to Yakubu in order to fit into the Fulani arrangement, in order for him to be a Fulani. Yes, Danjuma was Friday. He changed his name to Danjuma in order to be a Fulani. Now he found out. It was Danjuma who shot his commander-in-chief. He found out, but still has not apologized to the Igbo people for what he did. He did not apologize to the nation, but he understands now better that it was a disaster and letting the Fulanis manipulate the destiny of Nigeria. This is where we are today. And we are not going to move forward until this lockdown is solved. And that is why I'm asking you Nigerians today, a question. What kind of country do you want? I have lived in the United States for nearly 30 years. When anything is happening in the US, it is everybody's business. There is nothing like North and South in the United States. When the only time you hear North and South is when there is a disaster or there is something, but not to politicize North and South. No, you don't have like that. It's either United States or nothing. And then if you want to further more define yourself, you define yourself by this your state of origin, where you live. Like when I'm out of here, I'm in Ohio. Somebody asks me, "Oh, I'm from Texas." You hear from I'm Ohio. I'm from Illinois. I'm from Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, North, South Carolina, New York, and all that. Colorado, Denver, yeah. Yes, Colorado, and all that. That's what you hear. You never hear I'm a Southerner. You never hear I'm a Northerner, especially Northerner, we hear. Northerner. That is where the trouble of Nigeria is from. This Northern nationalism is what is destroying Nigeria. Northern nationalism. And then the Northern nationalism does not benefit but a few Fulani elites. When you hear Northern leaders, check out who the leaders are. I will tell you, 99% of them are Fulanis. They use this Northern ideology to blind the people there. Now, happily, the people are beginning to find out right now. So that is why the North is shattering and it will never rise again. Yes, there will be Nigeria. Trust me, there will be Nigeria. But we have a lot of work to do. Now, I am not, I'm not going to run away from Nigeria for some damn Fulanis. They are not Nigerians. They are visitors to Nigeria. They are invaders. But we have been nice to accommodate them in Nigeria. So they have no right, no power to drive us away from Nigeria. I'm not running away from Nigeria. We're going to have to wait and fight. That is what the moment calls for now. Fight back. No running. Fight back. They are strangers to our land. They don't own the country. We own the country. So we are going to be the ones telling them that we are the aborigines. Why are we running? Running for what? So a lot of times I'm tired of crying. I've cried more than enough. I'm not crying anymore. When I see people posting dead bodies, they went and bombed a church today. They went to Igbo to kill people. Fight back. Yes, fight back. Fight back. When we begin to fight back and fight back and fight back and fight back and fight back, any and everywhere, they will understand. The only thing that they understand is force. Now, to make you understand what's taking place, the people who drive your government are part of those arming, funding, and supporting terrorism in Nigeria. How on earth would you have a vice president with ties to Boko Haram as vice president of Nigeria? Remember when they were campaigning, he said Tinubu should take care of the economy and other things, that he will take care of the security. Who gave him that audacity to make that pronouncement? The reason is because he knows. The reason is because he is at the forefront of terrorism in Nigeria. That's why he had that audacity. Now, why do you think that of all the people in Nigeria, yes, and for all the people in Nigeria, of all the people in Nigeria, Kashin Shettima was the one most suitable to be chosen as the vice presidential candidate? Yes, yes. So why? How come? Yes, there is something about that. The reason is because the reason is because he is the face of Boko Haram. So Boko Haram is your vice president. And you want to know more about what is known about this man? In 2011, are you aware of the bombing of the United Nations building in Abuja that killed both local and international staff? You remember that? That terrorist bombing in Abuja? Yes, on the United Nations building in Abuja that killed how many? Over 26 international and Nigerian workers there. The man behind that attack, those behind that attack were arrested in Kashin Shetima's house. Yes, they were arrested in his house. Why were they arrested in his house? What were they doing in his house? What did he know about the bombing? Nigerians went to sleep as usual. Yes, let me take on Nigerians. Nigerians are a very funny people. Nigerians are so selfish. Nigerians don't care about themselves. They don't care about their country. A people who cared about their country would have stood up firmly to say, no, this man is most unsuitable to be vice presidential candidate of our party. And the people of Nigeria in general, from across political party lines, did not rise up to say, no, we are not going to allow this. The young man that was arrested, one of them was Aminu Sokoto. He was the main mastermind. Today, he's walking free in the streets of Nigeria. And Nigerians moved on as if nothing happened. Now, let me come down on Good Luck Jonathan. Good Luck Jonathan, the smiling man, you think he's a good man? You know what happened after that bombing? The secretary of the International Criminal Court, Mr. Ocampo, he flew to Nigeria in fury and demanded from Jonathan Goodluck, give us the list of those masterminding terrorism in Nigeria and step back, we'll take care of them. You know what Jonathan Goodluck told him? The man you say is the best president of Nigeria, the man you say is the most, the presidential, the best president of Nigeria, he told him that it was a domestic issue and that Nigeria could handle it. Did they handle it? Have they handled it? Yes. That was when Nigeria missed a golden opportunity to stop this nonsense. Now, look at the number of people who have died from terrorism since then. Since then, Jonathan Goodluck was not a good president. If you ask me, he was the worst president of Nigeria. The man who put us in this mess. The man whom the Almighty God gave everything that he needed, including pushing Yaradua away for him to emerge as president. Served out his 2 terms. And in a blackmail election, he was given a 4-year term. He could not do anything for the 6 years he was president. What did he do? He could not even do anything in his hometown. He was busy. Now, they told him, okay, we will give you a support for 2nd term. That's the Fulani elders that call themselves Northern elders. They came to him when they felt threatened that if they allowed him continue, assuming he was doing a good job, that would be the end of the Fulani hegemony in Nigeria, which is coming to an end now. They came with their trick. They came to Jonathan Goodluck and told him, remove Dr. Festus Odomegu from his position as the chairman of the National Population Commission, and we will support you. Jonathan Goodluck, that I met here twice, face to face, in Houston, Texas, United States, starting with when they tried to prevent him from becoming president. Do you know how he became president? You in Nigeria, do you know? It was because of the pressure we mounted from here. He came here, we told him what he need to do. We told him, be the president of Nigeria, but be not a coward. Don't be afraid. Implement these changes, all these changes, we agreed. He went to Nigeria and did the direct opposite of everything we told him. That was why most of us turned our backs on him in 2015. These criminals came and told him, remove that man. The man who had mapped out Nigeria for a scientific head count, the very first in Africa, if not in the world. You know the type of census Dr. Odumegu was trying to do? He was trying to do a biometric census. You put your fingerprint on it, all right? So it will become indelible. We will use it to strategically develop a blueprint for the economic development of Nigeria. That is number one, strategic national planning. Secondly, for crime control. You enter our border, put your hand on this. If you have a bad record, it will show that you are a terrorist. They did not want that. They know they have been manipulating the population census in the north of Nigeria. The people who will go to Niger, they will go to Chad, they will go to Mali, they will travel as far as Mauritania to bring people into Nigeria to be counted as Nigerians. They go to Cameroon, bring Fulanis in Cameroon to be counted as Nigeria, and they enjoy benefits from across this country. They will enjoy benefits in Mauritania. They will enjoy benefits in Chad. They will enjoy benefits as citizens of Niger. They will enjoy benefits as citizens of Mali, and they will enjoy benefits as citizens of Cameroon. Yes, that's what they have been doing. Frauds that they represent. Yes, the Hausa people were fooling themselves and are believing that they are the same and one in Allah, Namune, because they can speak Hausa. Look at where we are now. So they removed Jonathan Goodluck out of his desperation. He already had 6 years. Honestly, what was he looking for? 6 years, wasted years that he didn't do anything with. He was looking for another 4 years. So at the end of which he would have gotten 10 years of doing what? Wasting Nigeria's time. He wasted 6 years. So he fired Dr. Festus Odumegwu, and then they gave him their own to replace Dr. Festus Odumegwu, with them having Buhari waiting. As soon as he did that, he alienated some of the best soldiers that he had, including me. And everybody turned their back. And that they gave him a national security advisor, Sambo Dasuki. Can you imagine that? Sambo Dasuki, Jonathan gave him the key to our country's vote. He emptied everything. And you call Jonathan Goodluck a good president. You don't understand you don't know anything. Because Nigerians are so shallow. You don't ask questions. Let him come and tell me that he's the best president of Nigeria. He can't. He dare not. He's the worst. He was the one who voted for Buhari much more than anybody voted for him. That was why he was quick to accept defeat. He lost. He voted against himself. A man that the Almighty God gave power to change Nigeria, he refused to do it. And then people cry for him. No, he can't. He can't. I don't know why, but let's come back to the story. There's somebody who wrote something that I am a Nigerian. Yes, I'm a Nigerian. So what? Did I say that I'm not a runaway Nigerian? I'm not going to run away. That I cannot be supporting Nnamdi Kanu and then have a Nigerian flag. No, I am a Nigerian and I don't boast with it. Nnamdi Kanu at the time, I don't know him. I've never had any personal engagement with him. I have read a lot about what he's doing. Yes, initially I did not like his attitude. Yes, there were things that he did that I did not quite like. And one of those things was the one that involves telling me my own history. I am from Delta State. Yes, he couldn't tell me my history. The worst thing you can do to anybody is to tell him the history of who he is. I had a problem with him in that area. But I am an activist. That I'm an activist, I don't take anything to heart. I can fight for my enemy. I can fight for you when you are in trouble, when you are being violated. I am not a vindictive activist. That is why I am different from others. So my emotion will never carry me to hate you so much to see that you are being violated and I will join your haters. No, I will not do it because it comes with consequences. I am primed to speak the truth at all times. It doesn't matter who is at the receiving end, and it doesn't matter who is the beneficiary. That is why I differ. Yes, and I've never stood against those who are fighting for Biafra. Because as an activist, I understand that the right to self-determination is a basic human right, even written in the Constitution of Nigeria. But because we have dumb asses as leaders of Nigeria, that is why they wake up and fight. I don't even know if these people read anything. Their own document, they don't read it. But I know a great deal about the Nigerian Constitution. If you go to that Constitution, go and look for where they talk about the right to self-determination. It's written bold. So the Biafrans have a right to self-determination, and I respect that. I will never, and I have never stood up against anyone agitating for Biafra. You see, that is why I'm different. Because I understand that. Yes, nobody has a right to be put in prison, in a marriage that is not favorable to him. You have a right to walk out. That is why they have divorce. Yes, but I know one thing, that if the Igbos leave Nigeria, Nigeria will fall apart. Me, I am not going to belong to, am I going to belong to Nigeria with those crazy Fulanis? I can't. Those crazy Fulani elites like El Rufai and Atiku, Kwankwaso, how? The same country will not contain me and them. It will be war, war, war all the time. So that's the thing. The Igbos, I must admit, like I have always done, are the binding force for Nigeria. The day the Igbos will leave, Nigeria will collapse into pieces. I don't even know where I will belong, but somehow I will find a way to belong somewhere. But my mission here, that is why I advance a cause for open Nigeria. Yes, and open Nigeria will put to rest every agitation by any section in Nigeria, because Nigeria will be so beautiful and such a great diversity if someone like me is allowed to put my hands on the lever of power in Nigeria. I will dismantle all this nonsense that necessitated the first genocide, yeah, and which is bringing about another one if care is not taken. Yes, that is the reason. It is just our inability to solve problems, and it's a black man's problem. I'm gonna tell you this, but I don't want to be pessimistic. People have right to do what they want to do, but I am doing my own part. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested the first time, incarcerated for nearly 5 years. He did not run away. In fact, that was why I started changing my mind. He did not run away. That's why I started closing my eyes to some of his attitude, and know, because I already know where I stand in my history. There's no need taking him up on that and arguing unnecessarily about what I know, better than him. But that's okay. And when his court date was approaching, Buhari decided to unleash. The mission was to kill him so that there will be no more case. Yes. But the narrative they wanted to bring about was that he jumped bail and ran away. So they went on the offensive. Their crocodiles started crying, and their pythons started dancing. They danced to the southeast of Nigeria and started the assault. That when it was over 28 persons died. And for some strange reason, I don't know how he did it, he was able to escape. And nobody will stay inside Nigeria at that time. I won't stay, especially when I don't have an army that can wage the might of an army supported by Imperial Europe. What is happening is not just a Nigerian fight. It is a fight that involves Imperial Europe. It is a fight that involves colonial Britain, of which Nnamdi Kanu has a citizenship, and a Britain that has, up to this minute, failed to speak up for one of their citizens. And that is where America differs. America will never have allowed Nigeria take away Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya. Even if they had brought him to Nigeria, they will come and get him. Yeah, they will take him back and say, okay, let's try him in the United States. Yes, I know for sure. If he landed in Kenya with a US passport, yes, Nigeria will not be able to house him. Yeah, it will be hell. They will give him up to the United States. That is where America differs. Britain is no good. And they proved it again that they are not good. You see, did they say anything? No. They kept quiet because they were part of what is happening. They are part of the manipulation. They want the free flow of mineral resources. Our economy, our money stolen from Nigeria, money stolen from Nigeria is what drives the British economy. If the money stops flowing into Britain, their economy will crash and they will become beggars. You see what France is suffering. That is what they are going to suffer the day Nigerians realize and decide to be independent of Imperial Britain. Britain will collapse. They don't have nothing. They are landlocked. They don't have a damn thing in that place. Whatever drives Britain is what's stolen from Nigeria. So that is why they will never be positively disposed to anything that will make Nigeria work. And sadly, a majority of us don't understand that. They have the Fulanis as their allies. Yes. Did you hear there's this Briton who took part in what happened in Nigeria? You know, when they are about to die, they are old, they will confess their sins so that maybe God will forgive them and accept them into heaven. Yeah, Aaron Smith confessed about what happened to Nigeria. He confessed totally about how Britain gave Nigeria to Fulani elites. Yes, it's not a no, it's not a hidden thing. So it's everywhere. Maybe when I finish, I'm going to post a link to it here. If I knew I was going to come up with that, I should have really played the video for you so you can see what that man said about what Britain did. Some of the things that he refused, and they recalled him back to Britain, and we're about to punish him. Yes, yeah, actually they fired him, and somehow again after some time because they needed him, they rehired him and brought him back to Nigeria. So you know what is taking place. The 1959 election, he said it was rigged. Yes, the census figure was rigged. So that is why Nigeria has not been successful with counting itself, even though it is supposed to be for strategic national planning to develop the country. Yes, that is why you see they want to continue to hold on to this north. North. They are not holding on to the north for the benefit of the people in the north. If they are holding on to the north for the benefit of the people of the north, you won't have 30 million Hausa children in the streets of Kano, Sokoto, Katsina, Daurat, Zamfara, Kebbi, down to Kaduna, begging from AM to 6 to PM when they are supposed to be in school. Yes, that is part of the Fulani agenda to destroy the Hausa people. But I'm happy that the Hausa people are beginning to realize now. They lie to them with the name of Allah. They lie to them in Islam that their poverty is supported by injunction by Allah, and they believe. So we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do, but we will do the job. So my brother who is telling me that I am not a supporter of Nnamdi Kanu because I have a Nigerian flag. Yes, you are wrong. But that is your opinion. Maybe perhaps let me respect your opinion. But I know who I am. I know that I am not a cheap Nigerian. I am not a cheap black man. I'm a black man for the truth. A lot of the things that I say, not many Igbos can say it who are Igbos. Yes, they can say it in Nigeria Because they have put the Igbo man in a position now where he has to be very mindful of what he says and what he does. Now I'm telling you today, if you are one of those Igbos who have now recorded, you are afraid of expressing yourself, you are not doing yourself any favor. Yes, because it makes them happy. You got to express yourselves. The only thing that I want the young Igbos to do, go back and start thinking about looking at how your ancestors handled the period of 1967 into 1970. Yes, yes, it's very, very important. Because some of you are straying out. The way you celebrate money is not good. The way you celebrate money is not good. Yet, I'm talking about the young Igbos. But the Igbo man who has accepted that he's a second-class citizen in Nigeria, you are on your own. I will not accept that, and I don't recommend it for you. The Igbo man who's running away because there's some Yorubas are telling you to leave Lagos. No, they have no right to tell you to leave Lagos. You are more Nigerian than anybody. Lagos is a Nigerian land. If you want to be in Lagos, you have to be in Lagos. You have to be anywhere in Nigeria. Don't be afraid of being anywhere. Yes, but if they say they don't want you, and it's okay. Develop Igbo land. Develop it. Develop Igbo land. Build a laba in Aba. Build a laba in Enugu. Build a laba in Onisha. Build a laba anywhere you want to build it. You are market people. They will still buy. They will come and look for you to buy. When I lived in South Africa, I had minutes half time. I traveled to Zimbabwe. I saw Igbos selling motor parts in Zimbabwe. I saw Igbos in Kenya selling motor parts in Kenya. I saw as many East African countries that I visited. I saw them. Yes, you are known. So you know how to do business. Develop that place. Develop your place. You can still be Nigerian, you can still be anywhere. Or if you own a store in Sokoto, make sure you own another one in somewhere. In case, because me, I have been a victim. 1991 Kano riot. Yeah, this is my mark right here. You see that? I was stabbed. 1991 Kano riot. I was in Kano when the whole thing started. It was a war. But who saved the rest of Nigeria? It's the Igbos there. They came out to fight. They came out. It looks like that spirit is lost. Yes, come out with audacity. As long as you are doing the right thing. Don't go and start stealing. But if you are defending your Nigerianness, don't apologize to anyone. Don't feel bad. I see some young Igbo people blaming Nnamdi Kanu, blaming some people about what is going on. No. Yeah, because maybe you are lost. So you got to go find your brain where you kept it. I did not say go and be offensive and be stupid, but hold your position as Nigerians any and everywhere you are. You are a Nigerian until you find your Biafra. All right? So now, going back to Nnamdi Kanu. So that first time he escaped. And then he went to Kenya. I don't know what happened. They bundled him in Kenya and brought him back into Nigeria illegally. That was a kidnap. And I'm sure you guys know now the Kenyan government of Ruto is about to take Nigeria to the United Nations International Criminal Court, right? Because they kidnapped him from their country. In the past, I used to think that it was a connivance with the Kenyan government and Buhari's terrorist government. They kidnapped him. How they did it was something. Then they must have taken that guy through a lot. They brought him here and they were celebrating it. The same people who were in Abuja, the biggest prison, Kuje prison, terrorists came there, ransacked it for 3 hours. Bichi was the director of DSS. He was aware. He did nothing. The chief of army staff was there. They did nothing. The inspector general of police was there. They did nothing. The army was nowhere to be found. Nobody. These guys had their feed day and released all Boko Haram detainees. Yes, and left. And left. Nigeria. Nigeria is funny. Nigeria is due for demolition. You have an Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. He wrote the blueprint for the reabsorption of a terrorist into the Nigerian armed forces. That armed forces is a polluted armed forces. It's not the armed forces of Nigeria. The Nigerian army is not the army of Nigerian people anymore. No Igbo man or any Nigerian should join Nigerian army. Let me tell you now. You join, you are going to be massacred. All right? That is not your army. It's not no more the Nigerian army. Some of us have tested it before. It's not a good place to be. That army has to be disbanded and reconstituted. And then let those who really love Nigeria come into it on their own and not on quota system anymore. But no, nobody is joining the army now. The young people are beginning to understand what's taking place. Why should you join an army and tomorrow they send you to the battlefront with nothing to fight? And they have Boko Haram already ambushing you. They'll slaughter you and that's yours. No, don't join the army. Instead, join your own army. Build your own community army to fight back. And that is what it is right now. Don't let anyone tell you. Don't go. You don't need anybody's permission to fight back. Yes, because self-defense is a universal doctrine. It's a biological doctrine. It's a spiritual doctrine ordained by God. If somebody wants to kill you and you have a way of fighting back, fight back. Don't donate your neck for anybody to kill. Yes, and even before they come, you have to have a communal way of defending yourself preemptively before they come. So open your eyes. Don't go to sleep as usual. This is not a time to party and be wild. Young Igbo boys, let me tell you, please, the way you do money is not good. Yes, it's okay. Money is good, especially when you work hard for it. Don't go on the social media showing money, calling money water. No, money is not water. Find something constructive to deal with your money. Invest it and make more money. When you are investing, think about your brothers, think about your sisters, think about your communities, think about your state, think about Igbo land. Very important. Your governors are all fake. All. I don't even know if there's any one. The one in Abia, well, I don't know. Yes, the one in Enugu is no good. The one in Anambra is worse. He's a terrible man. I don't know how they re-elected him. I don't know, seriously. The one in Imo is horrible, horrible, horrible. Abia, terrible. No, Ebonyi, horrible, horrible. Yes. Yes, diabolic scam. I've already addressed you. And if you want to continue to disrespect me, I will kick you out of here. You don't have to be here, so you better be shut your mouth up. If you love Ndigbo, come out for a fight. All right? I am very proud to be a Nigerian, but I am not proud of Nigeria right now. That is where it stands. Nigeria is not a bad country. The people driving Nigeria are the bad ones. And you who make noise and cannot take action, you are even worse. So shut your mouth up if you don't want to listen. You know how old I am? I saw the Civil War. Were you born at the time? What do you know about war? You know next to nothing. So one now, Mechonogi. All right. So now they brought him back into Nigeria. They know that they could not try him. They brought all Trump all these charges. They know they can't try him and successfully jail him. For all these years, they have been buying time, looking for the man who can do the hatchet job until they found Justice Omotosho. And the condition, all the counts, all the reasons for which he was jailed were not in the original charge sheet, making his imprisonment illegal. Illegal. But what I can tell the people of Nigeria, and especially in the Igbo, is that Nnamdi Kanu will be free. He's not going to serve no damn jail term. Never. It will not serve a long time jail time. If they lie, let them take him into the house of Saad, that idiot that says Sultan of Sokoto. And you know what? He's going to be the last Sultan of Sokoto. I already told him. And he knows that it's a prophecy that is beginning to come to pass. The Hausa people will chase him out and take their throne. They will chase the one in Kano out and take their throne. They will go to Daura and chase the man there out and take their throne. Watch and see. It is coming. Yes, the Armageddon that is coming to hit Nigeria will be better imagined. All right? So Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a hatchet man. He doesn't know what to do. He's doing the wish of those who helped him controvert Nigeria. Yes, who helped him destroy all our strategic institutions. They destroyed the judiciary. They destroyed the armed forces to pave way for him. So he's not in control of anything. They were the ones who gave him two ministers of defense that are terrorists. I'm talking about Dr. Bello Matawale and the other one, terrorist. Vice president is terrorist. Mhm. All those that Fulanis contributed to his administration are all terrorists. Nuhu Ribadu is a terrorist. Yes, he is. You want to know why? He is. Nuhu Ribadu was the one who, as chairman of EFCC, stated in writing that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the most corrupt governor in Nigeria. Nuhu Ribadu. That's to tell you how dishonest these people are. He is broke. When they are broke, they can do anything for money. The same Nuhu Ribadu was to later become a presidential candidate of Bola Tinubu's political party. All right? To tell you that Nuhu Ribadu is not a good man. While he was presidential candidate of, which party was that? I don't know if it was something, AD, something, there was a coalition. Yes. He was presidential candidate in that 2015 election. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu was behind him. While as presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, oh no, it was 2011. Yes. Went to work with Jonathan Goodluck. You remember that? Jonathan Goodluck sent the presidential jet to pick up Bola Ahmed Tinubu from Lagos. Ribadu was the presidential candidate of Tinubu's party. Tinubu and Jonathan Goodluck made a deal. The previous weeks, the AD had won all the state governorship elections in the whole of the Southwest. The following Saturday was the presidential election. Yes. Until Jonathan Goodluck was on the ballot, 2011. With Nuhu Ribadu as his presidential candidate. Bola Tinubu and Jonathan Goodluck met, and the next Saturday, everything changed. Jonathan Goodluck won the whole of Southwest. Now, you Nigerians, very cheap, shallow people, you ought to know that something happened. And Ribadu did not cry. Everybody was happy. Jonathan Goodluck was elected president in his own election after serving out Yaradua's 2 years. So at the end of it, he would have had 6 years as president of Nigeria. And everybody was clapping. Goodluck Jonathan won the election. Nuhu Ribadu was somewhere. He did not cry. Did you hear him raise his finger? No, he did not. This was a man who called Tinubu the worst, the most corrupt governor before he joined politics. Tinubu maneuvered and gave him his party's presidential candidate, presidential candidate, presidential ticket, right? How much money did Nuhu Badu get? And did you think Bola Ahmed Tinubu flew to Abuja to meet Jonathan Goodluck and helped him win the Southwest for free? Huh. You need to ask. But they are going to deny now that nothing took place. All right? And you see why Jonathan Goodluck cannot open his mouth with all that Tinubu is destroying in Nigeria? He can't. Compromised. Corruption is not good. When you eat the fruit of Babylon, you can't open your mouth to talk about the evils of Babylon. All right. Case closed. Then Jonathan became president. Nuhu Badu went underground. And he later resurfaced. Nuhu Badu, remember, he wrote a terrible letter about Muhammadu Buhari as the one who was responsible for importing mercenaries from across West Africa, Fulani mercenaries and militias, ahead of the 2015 general election in which Buhari was the president. His letter is circulating all over the internet. You know, I'm sure you have read it, the details about what happened, how they brought the Fulanis from across West Africa to win election. He talked about the baboon and the blood soaked, right? Yeah, because Nigerians suffer from amnesia. We forget so easily. We forget our pain so easily. That is why politicians take us for granted with so much ease. We are a funny people, very funny people. We cry, we cry, we cry whenever we don't have food. And then before you know, they just shook a pacifier in our mouth. And the people who were just crying a few minutes ago about how wicked somebody was will be the same people celebrating that purportedly wicked person. We are sick in our heads. And that is why these idiots take advantage of us. We, Nigerians, have a mental problem. Get angry if you like. The Nigerian youth are so lazy. Very, very lazy. Lazy. Do you see? I've never seen a lazy generation of young people like Nigerian youth. Cry, cry, cry if you want to cry. Yes, I am saying it. Somebody has to tell you the truth. I don't believe in telling people what they want to hear. If I run for any election tomorrow, vote against me because I'm telling you the truth. Nigerian youths are very, very self-hating and so wicked and so corrupt, so lazy. Do you see what Nepalese youth did the other day? Was it a few months? They were tossing their politicians inside the rivers. They were drowning them because of what they did to their country. Now, you young people, now, the guy who was telling me about Biafra, right? Okay, when Nnamdi Kanu was free, when Nnamdi Kanu, I know Nnamdi Kanu comes out, the whole Imo, Anambra, Abia, Ebonyi, yes, will be full of Biafran flags. Thousands, if not even millions. All of you will have these thousands of Biafran flags. But when there is an election in Igbo land, how come those people waving all these flags, they are not able to elect a pro-Biafran or pro-Biafran leaders? Can you imagine when do you have to belong to their party? With that number, that massive number, that massive number, yes, that massive number that comes out every time now they can when it was free. When it comes out, Ndibo, Eyimba, everywhere. Shake the whole country. Where, where are you whenever an election takes place? Where are you? Where do they, who vote for these criminals that call themselves Igbo leaders? Who vote for Auzodema? Who vote for Soludo? Who vote for Umai and the rest of them? And Okezie, those Abia has some terrible governors from Kano, Ojiuzo Kalo. Yes. You vote for them. You forget Biafra when there is an election. Why is it that you are not able to vote for pro-Biafran leaders? You know what it will feel. The only pro-Biafran person that I see in the Senate is Abaribe. Okay, then you have 5 Igbo states. That's 15 senators there. 15 senators from one region. That's power right there. 15 senators. And then for the 5 states that you have, maybe around another 56 members of House of Representatives. Can you imagine 15 senators and 56 members of House of Representatives talking about Nnamdi Kanu in the National Assembly, or talking about the Igbos or Biafra in the National Assembly? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Yes. Can you imagine that huge number? 15 Igbo senators at the Senate and the 56 Igbo members of House of Representatives talking, demanding with audacity, not begging, for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. My brothers and sisters, earth will quake and Nigeria will listen. Igbo elites are very, very wicked. Igbo elites are very, very selfish. Igbo elites are very, very greedy. You young Igbo people should distance yourself from them. You didn't have to belong to PDP or APC. There are other political parties from which platform you can elect pro-Igbo senators, pro-Igbo governors, pro-Igbo members of state and national assembly. Do that now, I challenge you, and see if things will not change about your agitation. So after you vote for them, don't come back here and be insulting me. That's one. I already kicked his ass out. Idiot. Yes. That's where the trouble is. That's where the trouble is. Somebody else will commit a major offense, and he gets away with it. But an Igbo man will do the minimum thing, and he will be punished for that. Igbo will be quiet. Everybody will mind his business and keep on going. You place more premium on your business. You don't care about your own brothers and sisters. You don't care about the well-being or otherwise of your place. You are busy chasing money all the time. It's time to pull back and think. Be more communal. Be more self-loving. Be more self-respecting. Never give up on your citizenship of Nigeria until you get your Biafra. Yes, because Nigeria is what we have right now. I cannot tell you not to fight for Biafra. Never, I will not. I respect that and I love the fight. Because it's not helping a lot of more people waking up. I'm sure you will hear about what is taking place in Hausa land right now. The Hausas have drawn a battle line with their Fulani oppressors. And I speak with a lot of them. They call me, they talk to me. I speak with people from everywhere in Nigeria. I speak with some Fulanis, moderate Fulanis who have sense. who hate what their elites are doing. I talk to them. They are interested in building a Nigeria that will work for everybody. So that is why I don't generalize. I call out the Fulani elite. They are very wicked. They are dubious. They are criminals. They are responsible for misleading their people. They don't even treat their own people well. Which group of people will send their people to the bush like animals? When they have their own children in Dubai, they have some in the United States. A lot of them are in Britain and the United Arab Emirates. They send their own people into the bush, give them AK-47. And that's what they do because they rely on that to continue to hold Nigeria hostage. It is time for us. So the worst travesty was done to Nnamdi Kanu. And even though I am not in government, I can tell you this, that that sentence will not stand. It will not stand forever. He's not going to be in jail for his life. He's going to be set free. And I see it happening soon. Because Nigeria will have no choice. Nigeria will not rest until justice is done for the benefit of the Igbos and the rest of Nigeria. Holding the Igbos down is holding Nigeria down. It's as simple as that. But the idiots holding Nigeria hostage don't see that. But in no distant time, the tide will turn and you will see the roar. What is about to happen in Nigeria is better imagined. I can tell you that. What is happening, what is going to happen in Nigeria is going to wow everybody. Yes, so ndị Igbo, sharpen n'anya unu. Ndị Igbo, unu onwe unu n'anya. Yes, this you hate yourself so much, self-hate. You pull one another down. It's not good. It hurts to see that. And some of you become so apologetic to a Nigeria that is hurting you and hurting the rest of us. You have no reason to be apologizing to Nigeria and Nigerians. You didn't do anything wrong. You should not be guilty for being Nigerians. You should not be guilty for standing up. You should not be guilty for being open. Yes, Nigeria as it stands is a country for all of us. And we must seize it. We must not go to sleep and allow one minority, some riffraff from a minority group, take over Nigeria. No, we should not. So if there is ever going to be any election again in Nigeria, which I don't pray for, I'm not one praying for 2027. I want a revolution that will set the whole of Nigeria free. And that is my idea. Nigeria needs to be reset for the benefit of all Nigerians. Yes, that is where I stand. So keep on praying, keep on hoping. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't allow what Nnamdi Kanu is suffering and make you give up. He is a young man. Whatever you guys can do to support his family, do so, because it's not easy to carry the burden of a whole nation. That is what he's doing. He has given up, and he has earned my respect as a true fighter, yeah, who cannot be bought or sold. He has demonstrated to be one of the best activists in Nigeria. You can't take it away from him. Yes, not many people have that type of courage to stand the stress, to withstand the hell, yes, of being incarcerated. It's not easy. So he's a fighter, he's a leader. He earned my respect. And all you guys need to do, keep on praying for him, support his family if there's any way you can, because it's not easy for children, especially he has young children, separated from their father, their family head, their a husband. It's not easy. No matter what anybody gives to you on earth, that physical presence of father or mother, you can't buy it. No amount of money can equate it. But he offered himself in the service of the Igbo people. For those who disagree with him, Well, because for one reason, because I found a pockets of Igbo people. I hear what they say, but it makes me bleed about the Igbo man. About how they can be unforgiving sometimes because of personal disagreement. I do have personal disagreement with people, but I don't let that, control my emotion to the extent that when anything is happening to them, I celebrate it. No, I'm not going to ever celebrate that. So thank you very much, Ndibo, who joined there, Nigerians who joined, people of the world who joined to listen to this broadcast. This man is being held for the position he holds against injustice in Nigeria. And his position is germane. He's not wrong. He did not do anything wrong. People may have done wrong things, taking advantage of the struggle. I believe he's not a part of it. Yes. So he's being jailed for asking a question. And citizens have rights to ask their country's questions. That was just exactly what he did. Ojukwu asked that same question. They drove him into exile. Now he asked that question. They sent him to jail. But some more questions will be asked. And this Biafra is not just a wishful thinking. It is a spiritual movement. You cannot kill a spirit unless you address the concerns of that spirit. Good night and much love. I love you guys and thank you. Bye for now. And if this is your first time of joining us here at ONN, we thank you. We love you. We appreciate your time. But we expect you, we implore you to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button and then keep on coming. What we speak here is the truth. We are not afraid of anybody. We are not afraid of faces. We are not afraid of statuses. We speak it the exact way it is for the benefit of our people and unborn generations. Bye for now.